Hey everyone, so today I'm going to be doing a video on how to win lane as support, very similar to my mid lane video that I did. So now I'm going to jump right in, and what I'm going to try and do is talk about the fundamentals of the gameplay so you guys can replicate it in your own games. So straight away, something I'm thinking about as a support is obviously the 2v2 matchup, I'm thinking about the jungle matchup, and I'm thinking about the mid matchup. Straight away here, what you got to think about is, okay, I'm leashing my jungle, and as soon as I see this, I'm looking at the map and I'm thinking, okay, I had to leash, they didn't have to leash, which means they're going to get control over the wave level 1, so they're most likely going to get level 2 first. So I walk in here, and I see Swain walk up here. So for me, I actually ping that this is warded. I mean, it's an est. I mean, I'm I'm assuming he did. He may not, but again, I would rather my jungle think that he's warded than get there and waste his time. So again, right now, straight away, just pausing here. My first tip is if they are going to get level 2 first, you need to play accordingly. And especially right now, I'm a melee into a ranged support, Swain. So it's really difficult for me, and he also has aftershock, so it's really difficult for me to look to punish this at level 2. So first thing, quickly go back here. First thing you need to do as a support, again, just because you're a melee into a range support doesn't mean you can play like a bitch. It doesn't mean you're allowed to play like a bitch, in other words. So see here, I'm not just sitting behind Kai'Sa, or I'm not sitting really far behind. I'm trying to get my face up in here, and I'm going to try and bait out abilities like that. So I forced Swain I baited Swain to use his E on me. So what that does, it relieves pressure for my AD carry to then farm. And then obviously because Swain uses ability, I can feel I can get some little poke off here. Next, what did Kai'Sa do wrong here? We covered this in our last video. I'll quickly break this down. So Kai'Sa sees that I hit the hook, but I mean, all I'm doing is being a good support, baiting out abilities. But look what he's doing. He got the great trade off, but now the trade's done. Now he's walking in the middle of a minion wave, takes a Yasuo Q to the face, and then gets pulled. So that trade that was extremely favorable for us is now doomed. So the great thing about this VOD is that it wasn't like there was an 80 carry difference. My 80 carry made some pretty poor decisions in the laning phase. So it's a really good example of saying, okay, how do I adapt to this situation? So now, again, I kind of accept reality that Kai'Sa's pretty chunked after that trade, so we're going to have to be really careful. I think I don't want to contest now level 2 anymore, since they're getting poke off, they get the shove on the wave here, and yeah, all I'm trying to do right now, okay. Some people may say, "Hey Curtis, you got level 2 first, but how come you didn't all in?" Again, I realized here, I was thinking, um, I knew that we're going to get level 2 first, but I didn't want to all in purely because I knew Swain has aftershock. Yasuo, they're going to hit level 2 extremely fast. And even if I go on one of these guys, Kai'Sa's not going to be able to walk up through the minions to go for a follow-up trade. Um, and he's most likely going to get pulled or gripped or something. And he's already half HP, and I don't want to take this trade. But just for the sake of other fundamentals, my second tip is you should be very specific about the minion that you're going to get level 2 on. And if I go back and I explain the situation, and I know I'm going over this a lot, but I think it's very important. Here, as soon as you know you're going to get level 2, in a really simple way, if you're not counting the minions, is just keep an eye on your XP bar here. So I already know, okay, here get level 2. I mean, there's videos out this all the time if you want to know how level 2 works. I won't bother explaining it here. But the main thing here is that you should be already walking up if you're looking to all in a level 2. But because we weren't, we just kind of played defensive. And notice here, actually, let's see how this plays out a little bit. I'll stop pausing it for a second. All right. So what am I thinking? I'm thinking, okay, my junglers around the area, their jungler also is probably heading onto bot side because I knew that their Sejuani started top side. And Swain end up did warding there where I pinged, so Tali is able to sweep that out. So what do I do now with this information? knowing that my jungler's around here, I'm going to try and play aggressive and threaten the enemy and make them and push them back. And this is my third tip. This is using your information about where your jungler is, using your team's location to play aggressively. So when the so people always ask me, how do I play more aggressive? Generally, you want to play further up in the lane. And notice how I'm like way above the minions here. This is because they have to respect because they know my jungler's here. But why would I? Even though I'm probably not going to go all in here, all this is doing is forcing them back. It's going to make Yasuo miss CS, and potentially even get them outside of XP range. And again, I'm just looking to bait abilities constantly. And so now, what's my next objective here? Given that I'm playing super aggressive, I'm just trying to threaten them away, push them away. I want to deny this cannon creep off of Yasuo. So let's see what I do here. I'm like, all right, Yasuo, you want this cannon? You're not gonna get it. So I kind of push him off, root him, and then Swain ends up taking the cannon because he panics, and then they weren't sure that they were gonna get it, and then he chucks his own support a little emote. And again, this is all based off the fact that I knew that my jungler was around this area, and they didn't have vision, so they have to respect. And now I know their jungler is also on bot side, and I know Tyler is looking for a play mid, and we kind of lose 2v2 at the moment purely because again Kaiser's still low from that trade before, and it's really hard for us to all in Yasuo Swain through all these minions, and they have exhaust, and Swain has aftershock, so they're very annoying to kill actually. So right now, I get hit by a root, which is kind of annoying. But again, the wave's coming to us, so it's not a big deal. And again, I'm constantly thinking about the position of the wave. Talia ends up walking into bot river here, but there's no way we can contest. We lose push 2v2, and so yeah, we can't really contest that. So right now I'm just happy farming this under tower. Talia still has to go to her top side anyway, because she's only cleared her bot side, so she'll still get top scuttle. Alright. So people may ask me here, Curtis, why aren't you warding? I don't feel the need to ward Tribrush right now because we're not going to get ganked. We're not going to push out. And it's a Sejuani at level 3. I would rather save my ward for a time where it's more important. Maybe where we get to shove out, or maybe to put it in the lane bush. I don't really feel the need to do it right now. And this again, how I come to that decision is I'm assessing the level of threat that the jungler has on our lane. Alright, so they're pushing us in. Again, I'm trying to bait abilities, but I actually end up getting caught a few times, which is just bad by me. But you kind of get the premise. Because they overextend the lane. All right, something I really want to talk about here. This is super super awesome. So notice how what is the number one mistake that these guys are doing? This lane. They're not fully committing to pushing this wave in. So the wave for the last, 15, 20 seconds has been stuck in this really awful spot for them. And it's just right outside our tower. So Kaiser's able to just free farm. They can't really all in us because we're right next to our tower. And if I ever get the opportunity, I'm safe to hook in because again, the jungler can't gank us from where we're in this position. So so what they need to do is they need to either commit to they need to commit to getting this wave all the way into tower, so then the wave can reset, and then it will slowly start pushing back out to them, which means we're vulnerable. Or they make us, they wait for Kaiser to accidentally hit the wave, so it's going to slow push out anyway. But when they take trades in this specific area around the lane, it's very hard for them to actually take a good trade. So we get this really nice trade. All right. So something to think about. Again, Kaiser ends up warding because he's a little bit scared. I'm not really sure why, but he chooses to. We know our jungler's on top side of the map right now. So what does that mean for us? Again, we're assuming Sejuani's probably on bot side because he started top, ended up on bot side. Our jungler's top side. So we just got to play defense right now. Again, how you play in the lane is purely dependent on everyone. And look at this. Sejuani's bot side right there. So end up being an okay ward for Kai'Sa. But even if it wasn't warded, we would have seen Sejuani, so not a big deal. So right now, why I'm standing back here, I'm actually timing the summoner because Swain flashed before, so I was actually busy typing that up. I'm not the fastest typer. So that's my other tip. Always time summoners, especially when you're playing melee supports, because you can punish them really well. And again, what are we seeing here with the problem with this Yasuo Swain? Look at where the wave is. It's sitting in this really awkward spot where they can't get it into. They're not getting it into tower. We're just keeping it outside, and we're not gankable. We're minimizing well our junglers on top side, and this is a very important thing to know, whether you're on the receiving end of this or um, you're pushing someone in. And see as well how I'm not just sitting behind Kai'Sa. If I was sitting behind Kai'Sa playing really scared, I'm pretty sure they would be easily allowed to get this wave in. But because I'm like threatening, I'm constantly getting up in their face, like pushing the limits. This is what I call like play. This is how to play aggressive as a support as well. Is I'm constantly sitting up here looking to bait abilities. You know, if Yasuo walks up too far, I'm willing to trade. But again, I'm trying to distract them away from the minion wave so my Kai'Sa can get as much farm as possible. See again, so Yasuo now is deciding to use abilities on me rather than like on Kai'Sa and on the wave. And yes, I'm taking a bit of damage, but again, Kai'Sa's getting a lot of farm, the equal farm, even though we're like kind of got stuck behind. Go for a cheeky hook there, but doesn't end up landing. So what we need to do right now is we need to wait for Talia to come onto bot side so we can actually start to push out and look for a reset. And again, the same thing over and over again. We're constantly playing around our jungler. All right, he gets nothing really I can do here. And again, try to go for a sneaky hook. Miss it. It's not the end of the world. We can just keep farming up here. Again, they're not resetting the wave, so we're just keeping it outside our tower the whole time. So now, what do I do when my jungler uses sweeper here? That allows me, and like I said before, once a jungler comes, I'm assuming that they have no more vision here. If I actually check, they end up having a ward here. Like Talia was actually lazy and should have walked up and sweeped that whole area. But what this is going to do, in my mind, I was thinking, okay, they have no vision, they have to respect. So this is our opportunity to shove out. This is what I said before. When the jungler comes down, this will allow us to shove out and get a reset. So I try to use all my abilities on the wave. But again, because Talia didn't fully sweep, they're not scared enough, which kind of is a bit annoying. But we end up getting the wave out. And then now, Yasuo looks for an all-in through the minion wave, and we end up getting a kill here. But again, and also see here how I look to flash and root. I go for this play because I didn't actually see him get rooted by the E, but he didn't have flash and I timed it before. So I was consciously thinking, and this is a huge tip as a support, is you need to be consciously bringing it to the front of your mind that this person doesn't have flash. So I'm pretty sure if he didn't get rooted and get sucked back or whatever, we may have been able to chase this guy down and kill him, but we didn't. So again, what do you do when you kill them? Straight away, push. So you can look to get a reset here. And I remember here, I wanted to get this wave in, and then I still see Talia here, so I'm like, wait, we can actually kill Swain. I remember I pinged. I think we pinged here for Swain. He overstayed. Swain just should have just backed off in base, but I guess he was greedy. And we get the kill. I pop my demolish, and then I instantly base. Right, next. So just because I'm recalling doesn't mean I'm not thinking about the map. So I'm thinking, okay, should I roam? And this is how you decide whether you roam or not. And it's this specific situation. A few pieces of information here. Can I roam mid? Well, Lissandra roamed top, used ultimate, and got a kill. So there's going to be no kill threat. And again, even Akali as a champion itself, there's not much kill threat because he can just shroud. The other thing as well is I actually want to use my pink wards for my own tri-brush and my own lane purely because there's so much kill threat onto this bot lane because they have no sums, or at least Swain has no summoners and no exhaust, and I'm a Nautilus, so I want to play greedy with my pink wards. I don't want to pink for mid. I want to pink for our lane. But again, if we're playing a farm lane, it's probably beneficial to use pinks around mid if there's that opportunity. And the other thing, I'll actually go back to explaining this. Look at the wave. So Yasuo's pushing this wave out, and then I know, and I use my wave location as an estimate of where their wave will be. So I'm like, okay, Obviously the waves are mirrored, so their wave will be around their tier two. And I'm thinking, okay, there's no way Yasuo is going to be able to shove this out fast enough to crash into tower. So what I wanted, actually, my original thought process here. So if we speed this up, so see how it doesn't crash? It's like just outside of tower. I'm like, okay, if I were to roam mid and get vision, I'm gonna actually not be back bot in time for all of this creeps, and I'm gonna get really behind in XP. So you shouldn't be looking to roam unless it's 100% really needed. If there's a big wave going to be crashing under your tower, otherwise you're just gonna get way too far behind in XP. So again, to summarize, how did I decide not to roam here? Was the position of the minion wave in my lane, the straight up kill threat and necessity and ability to me to get a kill mid, which was little to zero. And again, where I want to put my vision, and purely because we have a Talia who's going to hit six soon. I'm going to hit six soon. There's so much kill threat on Yasuo and Swain in lane that I want to use the pinks for me. And what I actually thought I could do was maybe sneak around here, up around this tribush, and go behind Yasuo for a kill. But I wouldn't get here in time. So I end up getting really far ahead in terms of XP. Swain's still level 4. I haven't even soaked any of this XP, and I'm halfway to 6. So I'm really far ahead. So I pink this. So for Talia, because I know Talia's going to hit, it literally just hit 6 and is on our bot side. And what I want to do here, this is a really handy tip, a really unique tip for you to set up kills. When you're playing these champions like Thresh, Nautilus, Leona, any melee, loop around here using your pink ward that the vision you've denied, and start either clearing the minions or come behind them and look for a kill. Because again, sometimes they lose track of you and they just forget that you can loop around. And the beauty of this is that if they decide to all in you like this, you're doing this in a calculated manner. You know your jungler's on bot side, ready to respond. And this is a beauty of being aware of where your jungler is. And again, Yasuo's like, oh shit, Talia's here. You forgot. And then I end up getting a hook. And that's a free kill. So what do you do next? Push, push, push. I want to push, I want to push. I actually now was thinking, if I remember I walked into, I wanted to duck into vision here temporarily just to clear a bit of vision. And what I wanted to do, and this is a really useful tip for supports, is constantly duck out of vision. So if you look at their vision, I mean, there's this, but they don't know where I am right now. I could be roaming up to this blue to be helping Talia. I could be looking to roam mid, or I could be looping around to look for a dive, or I could just be sitting in here. There's so many things I could be doing. So sometimes I just like to duck out of vision to like play with their minds. And then when I see Yasuo here, I ping and I'm like, yeah, Talia, come, come, come. We can dive. We can dive. Because we have a wave and Swain's dead. He steals the blue, but Sejuani ends up being here. So we can't dive, so I end up backing up. So the other reason is why don't I base? It's like, why don't you base, Curtis? Well, if I look at this, I've still got a pink ward in my inventory. I don't even have the ability to go back and get my wards because my Targ one's not finished stacking. So there's no reason for me to base right now. I'm full resources. I can just chill, stay on the map. So I just walk up, and again, what I want to do right now is, why would I sit in lane in vision, showing Yasuo their team where I am, when I can be generating threat or scaring the enemy team about the unknown location of where I am. So Kaiser ends up getting the plan. I just want to sit here in this bush, and if they stay, then we can show. And then they end up walking into river. And the reason this is really bad, and this is the beauty of what I did before, is they had no idea what we're doing. They had no idea whether we're roaming mid, whether we're on dragon, or whether we're sitting in here, what we were doing. So they felt the need to check. When they have no control, they haven't shoved our bot, their mid's getting pushed in. So what's going to happen here? They're going to get punished. Boom. You're dead. Next. And the reason I ult said, just so I could see if I could go through the Swain here. And yeah, free kill. And what I do now, again, I still am pretty healthy. I have most half my mana. I still got pots, still got a pink ward. I don't feel the need to base right now. So what I want to do, and because Swain's dead, I want to hold the wave for my AD carry so it doesn't crash into the tower. And then I also know Talia's still around. But again, I don't really want to look for a play too much onto this. I mean, I was thinking it could be if he doesn't win wall this, because I could get onto him. But otherwise, I was content with keeping the wave, making sure it doesn't hit the tower. That was my original intention. So I wanted to bait out the win wall. But look at this. See how I'm playing? I'm not playing like a bitch, even though it's 1v1 and I get destroyed by him. Because I know that he has no vision. I know there's a pink ward here. I know there's a pink ward here. I know that he doesn't know where my jungler is. See, look how I'm walking up. I want. He's so scared, and and even though no one's near to back me up, he doesn't know that. So again, I hold the wave for him, and now my AD carry gets to soak up all this farm. This is where you should be saying thank you, sir. Blows his flash, and I think I end up timing that. 100. I remember I sit still for a little bit timing that. Could do that mental math. 5 minutes. So I want to push out now because I want to help the team. I want to roam. And then, oh yeah, and I remember I pinged Dragon. I'm like, this is a free Dragon opportunity. We have push bot. He has push mid. We have full control. I put my pink here, and then we end up just getting a free Dragon here. Free. Skip forward a little bit here. And again, I'm trying to wait till I base. I'm nearly at 500 gold, so I really want to base when I get to finish my Targons. That's like for me an indicator of me sticking around. And plus, they haven't cleared my pink wards, and I'm still all good on resources. And you see me stand stilling here just because I was timing, and actually threw me off guard because the mid and jungle were roaming down. And I'm like, what the fuck? What's this guy doing? So Sejuani is end up like he's actually a pretty good jungler. Like he's defending his bot lane. He knows that we were looking for a dive. So I end up seeing Kali as well, looking to roam down. I originally wanted to dive this, but then when I see a Kali, I actually realized that this was a bad play. Out, out, out. And then I actually ping on the way, which was by mistake. But I should have pinged back, back, back because I didn't think about think this through quick enough. But again, pretty sure this one ends up dying. We should be out, 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 out. I think he gets out, yeah. And again, um, okay. I want to explain why this is a bad play and how you can prevent yourself from making the same mistake and calling it off. So we just finished the play, right? Lissandra's dead. We've used pretty much most of our ultimates. Actually, no, we haven't. We've only used Lissandra. But what does that mean when your mid laner dies like this? Well, what that means is that if you go for a play, you have to be consciously thinking their mid laner is going to get to this fight first. So I'm thinking, well, maybe they're overextended, but they're obviously doing it on purpose because they know we can't respond. And again, we kind of get TP'd on, and um, he dies for it, and I have to flash. Which is again, I shouldn't have. I should have pinged everyone to back off. That was not a good play. Remember, and it's the same concepts. Playing according to the rest of your map. All right. So, what am I thinking when I'm in base here? Okay, next. How do I, and then this is another roaming situation. How do I know whether to roam or not, Curtis? Next. Well, the wave's already crashed, so I'm not going to get back to lane in time to catch this XP anyway. Kai'Sa's pretty safe to be able to just catch the wave here. And so I felt like this was a really good opportunity for me to kind of clear some vision um, around Lissandra's lane. And what I actually originally thought here, I actually wanted to look for and invade onto this red, but I'm like, and then I actually look top and I see Jace has to base because he has no mana and he just pushed out top. So I'm like, all right, let's not do that. But that would have been a good idea to go for this red buff. If he was pushing and just came out off a reset, we could have looked together because mid has push, Talia's reset coming back on the map, and we would have been able to invade and kill Sejuani on this red buff. But I decided not to because of Jace wanting to base. So what I do is I just put a normal ward here because again I don't want to waste my pinks. I want to use my pinks for myself, and I just end up using my sweeper, I'm pretty sure, in a minute just to sweep all this. And because I know Sejuani's top side, this means that I know that I am safe to get deep vision here. So I get some vision in their jungle. And then yeah. And again, I don't look for a kill mid because it's really hard for me to kill. It's really hard. I feel like it's wrong for us to look for a kill on a Kali because I think Lissandra just wants to push and roam to sides anyway. And I don't think killing a Kali really does anything for the game state right now. So again, they're looking for a kill top, so we have to play appropriately in terms of like our Eddie. So Kai'Sa recognizes his jungler's top side, so we can't really push up too far. So what he does, he chooses to do Krugs, which is a common thing for AD carries to do. So I'm no use here. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to hover mid. I'm going to look mid because again, you're always doing something, always got to do something. And I end up roaming mid or looking at mid, and they already kill him. I'm like, okay, while he's doing Krugs, I'm just going to roam, and I ping this blue buff. I wanted to go for this blue buff. Sweep some vision, and he gets hit. I ult, and he ends up dying to my ignite. And then kill him as well. Bait the ult, boom. And yeah, so again, you see how when I'm roaming, I'm doing it in times where I'm not leaving my support to die. I'm constantly thinking, does my AD carry need me? And then again here, I need to get back on the map for reset. I know he's safe because Yasuo and Swain died, so I know he's just fine to get some plays by himself, and I'm going to come back on the map and reset as fast as possible. So what am I going to do off this roam? So what I remember thinking here again, is there any point in me going bot? No, because look at the wave. I'm not going to get anything. Kaiser's killing the wave. I'm not going to miss any farm. He doesn't need me. End of story. Next. Okay, what else can I do? My mid lane is basing. I've already got vision on bot side. What are the two other objectives on the map? Rift Herald, Dragons coming up in about 30, 40 seconds, I think. So what I remember thinking here, this is quite advanced, but I wanted to put one ward here around Top River because if they decide to trade off Dragon because they can't contest us, this may be able to see them go to Rift Herald. So we might be able to anticipate their moves earlier. So again, I'm warding in places where I think something may happen. Kai'Sa ends up getting overstaying in his lane, so his tempo is really screwed. Get a ward, and again, I'm already thinking that this is the next objective, mountain, and then Lissandra ends up TPing behind, so just good awareness by the mid laner, and we end up getting a double kill here. Now what do we do? Again, push the wave. They end up starting dragon. I want to push this wave for Kai'Sa, get my stacks off, and then I want to use my proc my demolish on this tower and get this tower as fast as possible. And see how that ward, see, they actually end up looking to do Rift Herald and they're on top side, which helps my Jace. This is like a 200 IQ player, helps my Jace because I know they're not going to contest this dragon, and then they end up trading in a way. So what do? I try to dump all my wards before I want to look to reset, because I want to reset with my 80 carry here. So dumping all your wards and then resetting is much better than just resetting not having placed any wards. So what do I want to do? How do I assess where to go? Okay, well, bot tower was gone, dragon's gone, top tower's already gone. Where should we go? We should go mid lane. So Kai'Sa's going to go mid lane here. They've got Rift Herald like I predicted they would before because we made the trade for Mountain Dragon. And they kind of greeted and didn't wait for me, which was a bit annoying, but it is what it is. All right. So I'm thinking now, okay, GP's pretty overextended, and I can see this purely because I know he has no backup from all these wards I placed before. So I remember here, I use this as an opportunity to get some more deep vision and then look to roam bot to kind of loop around so he didn't have an escape route. And then he ends up dying. You know, if he had flash, he could have flashed over this wall, and then I would have been here waiting. So I'm thinking ahead of time. Next, what am I doing? Again, just looking to go back mid. There's no need for me to base yet. I've still got 3 wards in my inventory. I want Kai'Sa to be mid right now, which is really annoying. I actually think what should have happened there, Jay should have went bot and Kai'Sa should have been mid. Why? Because we want to play top side now. right? Because there's no dragons. Topside's a lot easier to control. We can start contesting these red buffs. And then also Baron is coming up in 3 minutes. So we're going to have the control on topside already for Baron if we want to do a 20-minute Baron since we have Kai'Sa, Jace, and we also have a Mountain Dragon. So I'm thinking really far ahead. And this is quite complex, but you don't need to think this far in advance. And again, what I want to do, I wanted Kai'Sa to be here on this wave, Jace pushing out bot, and then using my vision on topside. But no one's getting this wave, so I was getting kind of frustrated. So I end up pinging this wave, and then Jace comes. Push out a little bit. I'm trying, and notice how I'm not going too deep into the jungle yet. I'm only just hovering around a little bit just to try and get eyes on people because I can't walk in yet. Lyssandra's only catching a wave top, and Jace is still responding to a wave mid. All right, so I get proc my thing, and again, we'll look what we're going to be doing here. And I remember pinging this red in a second. And I want to get vision on this red because this could be a potential objective that we can fight over. Because we're ahead, right? So I want to keep forcing fights. But then I see Jace base, and so we don't, and Lyssandra's getting blue, so we have to back up. We can't look for this play. And if they started walking up, I would ping back because again, we haven't pushed out mid, we haven't pushed out top. Jace is in base, and Lyssandra's getting blue. Constantly thinking about the location of your teammates. So then here, then we end up because now Lyssandra's kind of ready to respond in a way near in the area, and we've just pushed out mid, so Yasuo had to respond to that wave, and we end up taking away a little buff here. And again, notice how I'm constantly sitting out of vision here like this. I'm not just sitting in mid lane doing nothing. They don't know where I am. I know this isn't watered yet, and I know that I'm trying to create threat on the map by hiding out of vision. And then I come on. I want to try and push the wave as fast as possible, get my stacks off. And notice how I didn't go straight top here. I wanted to make sure we pushed out mid first. And you can do this at any healer. You can just tell your AD carry, ping the wave that you want them to come, and they will follow majority of the time. So we push it out, and now we move. Because what that does is look at this. Yasuo has to respond to the wave. So then now we have man advantage. I was going to look for a dive here, but this is actually a kind of a bad dive by me. I think I overcommitted a little bit here. I tried to flash out and go around the GPL here, but end up getting diddled. Not a good play. And the reason this is not a good play, let's go back and dissect this a bit. So why is this a bad play? Well, we know Yasuo's already finished getting mid, so he's most likely going to be roaming up. We don't really have vision around this area. And again, we're just getting tower, and it's really hard to dive as Swain because, again, he can proc his Aftershock really easily, and he's quite annoyingly tanky, and the same as Sejuani, and it's just a bad play. It's pretty simple. All right, so again, coming back on the map, how do I know where to go? I'm thinking, okay, Mountain Dragon's coming up. So I want to get vision around Mountain Dragon. So I use the Scryer's Bloom. I try to get vision, sweep a little bit, which is actually a bad use of sweeper because I already used Scryer's Bloom, so I know I just entered a little bit there. And then I got vision, and look at all this vision. I know if they're going to come all the way to try and fight this mountain, we're going to see it from a mile away. So we end up getting this. I end up trying to hover my Jace because they're looking to do a play here. And again, I'm constantly leaning and doing things, so I don't need to be hitting mountain. It's a waste of time. Like, they don't need me to do nothing. It's better for me to lean where I think action will be. So I lean here because I saw Lysandra posturing for bot side, and then he goes for this kill. He kind of goes a little deep. And then I ulti, and then I actually miss my hook here, but it actually ends up helping me. But anyway, we get a double kill. And again, see, I'm always in position at the right place. And again, it's not because it's magic. It's because I'm looking at where I think the next play is going to be. And you can see that and you can predict that by the location of your teammates and and how far up they are in the lane. And again, constantly warding in places that I think that could get us into trouble. And now I want to reset base, base, base. And the reason you want to reset right now is because I have no wards. We've already got the towers. We've got a lot of gold. Reset. And I remember I pinged them because Kai'Sa started posturing to go for this tower. I'm like, what are you doing, man? Back, back, back. So we end up backing up. And what's the next objective now is Baron. So it's pretty self-explanatory. I want to go play towards topside right now, get some vision down. And again, I can't go any further, right? Because Kaiser's not here, and I have to wait for this wave. We have to wait to get this wave first, so I end up pinking the pit, warding around a little bit. I personally like to put a ward in the mid lane here, because again, if they come in, I'm like covering each entrance in a way. So we get this, and I want to start this because we have double mountain. So I end up tanking. I'm pretty confident Talia's pretty far ahead, like in terms of like they have no vision, so they can't really get the Baron off us. Do a pretty clean engage. And yeah, we end up like winning this team fight. I'm pretty sure we just win the game off it pretty much. So yeah. So this game, hopefully it was really helpful for you guys. Basically, again, go through this video a few times. It's quite dense. There's a lot of stuff in it. Um, And what I wanted to do again is break it down in ways that you can replicate in your games. And although, yes, this is a high elo game and it may not be exactly the same in silver, gold, or platinum, the fundamentals still apply. And if you do this consistently over a large portion of games, you will climb. Hope you enjoy the content. Make sure to subscribe if you want to see more, and keep in touch. Bye.